Until 1803, the area around Amüneburg in central Hesse was an exclave of the electorate of Mainz and completely surrounded by the territories of the landgraviates of Hesse Kassel and Hesse Darmstadt. This well-preserved border stone stands on a hill very close to the village of Bauerbach, a few kilometers east of Marburg. It marked the border between the former Hesse Kassel territory and Amüneburg. On one side it shows the Hessian lion, and on the other side the six-spoke wheel of Mainz. It was erected, along with many others, in 1756, the first year of the 7 Years' War. For many years now I have been casting and painting a lot of different miniatures from Prince August moulds, like soldiers from different eras, but also chess sets, knights, and Christmas decorations. After passing these border stones countless times when taking a walk, I came up with the idea to create a few examples of Hesse Kassel and Mainz infantrymen. I decided to use two different ranges from the Prince August catalogue: the 40mm semi-flat figures of the 7 Years' War range, and my favorite Prince August figures, the 54mm Prussian infantry figures of the 400 series, the so-called Alt-Braunschweig range. It consists of 12 beautifully sculpted infantry soldiers with interchangeable musketeer and grenadier heads. Since 1751, the uniforms of the Hesse Kassel army were strongly influenced by the Prussian type of uniform. Therefore, the figures of the 400 series, as well as the Prussian moulds of the 7 Years' War range, are very well suited to create Hessian infantrymen. When Landgrave Frederick II issued new military regulations in 1761, the uniforms of all Hesse Kassel regiments underwent a significant revision. For example, the facing color of the Leibregiment changed from yellow to rose, so that you can paint the figures as pre-1761 or post-1761. This set is painted in the post-1761 uniform of the Leibregiment and shows the complete 400 series, containing 6 troopers in different poses, standing and kneeling firing, marching, advancing, loading, and charging. 2 musicians, a drummer and a fifer, a standard bearer, an NCO, and 2 officers. At the time of the 7 Years' War, the Hesse Kassel infantry consisted of 13 regiments. The electorate of Mainz had 2 infantry regiments: Regiment Lamberg and Regiment Wildenstein. These regiments were part of the Reichsarmee, the army of the Holy Roman Empire. I decided to make 2 different troopers for each of the Mainz regiments and the same figures for 2 of the Hessian regiments. Regiment Haudring and Regiment Prinz von Isenburg. You will find a lot of detailed information about the uniforms of all the armies of the 7 Years' War on the site of the 7 Years' War project at kronoscav.com. Also very useful for the Hesse Kassel Army is Rudolf Witzel's book Hessen Kassels Regimenter in der Alliierten Armee 1762, which is available as print-on-demand title from bod.de. From the 7 Years' War range, I decided to cast and paint the advancing and the marching musketeers. For the Hessians I used the Prussian moulds 3103 and 3104, and for the Mainz soldiers the Austrian mould 3105. From the 400 series I chose the advancing musketeer and the loading musketeer and used them for both the Hesse Kassel and the Mainz soldiers. Not all musketeer moulds of the 400 series have tricorns with pompons, so I used the head of the 408 mould also for the advancing musketeer. Anyone who has ever painted white uniform coats knows that they are a nuisance, especially when all the leather items such as waist and crossbelts are also white. You can hardly get any depth into the figures without the coats looking dirty, and on top of that the leather items hardly stand out from the coats. That's why I use bright white for the coats, washed with mid-grey and then brushed and highlighted with bright white. For the leather I use off-white washed with ivory. I hope you can see the difference quite well in this video.